You're just going to chill out there today? Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. Thank you for joining us. For those of you who don't know us, I'm Leanne and this is Babybel. Today we're going to be sharing with you our newborn essentials, the ultimate list of everything that we genuinely used either daily or at least weekly, and also the things that we didn't bother buying because we figured we wouldn't need them, the things that we wish we hadn't bothered buying, and the stuff that we realised that we didn't need to buy until later on. Some of it's here in front of me so that I can show you, and some of it I will put video clips in so that you can see it in action, and Babybel will be demonstrating what she does with it now that she's no longer a newborn. It is quite a big list, so grab yourself a drink and a snack, get comfy and get ready to take some notes. If you don't want to take some notes, I'll put links in the description below where I can so that you can go and have a look, or just take a screenshot of the list if you want to. So this is the list that we used. If you've seen any of our previous videos, you'll know that we like a list and a spreadsheet in this house, and I'm just going to go through it all now. First of all on the list is a next to me crib. It is actually still here in front of us, and as I said, I'll put some videos in, but that is my top essential. We've talked about it before. It is my top essential for having Babybel there next to me, and the ease of being able to get to her in the middle of the night to soothe her, to get her out for a feed. Top one, recommend it. And I know that Chico have just started doing one that lasts for longer as well, so I wish that had been available when Babybel was first born, as she is still here in the room with us, and it doesn't look like she's going to be ready to move into her own room anytime soon, as she wakes up so often during the night at the moment. Obviously with that as well, you need your sheets, and I would definitely recommend a mattress protector. A nightlight is another essential. You will be getting up quite often in the night during the newborn stage to change nappies and feeds, and obviously you don't want to be putting a bright light on just to completely wake everybody up. This one has got multiple colours on it, and again we've talked about this before, but we have this on the red light setting as it's meant to be soothing, and it's just a little rechargeable lamp. Next on the list is cellular blankets, and those are the ones with the holes in them. When Babybel was first born, she was a little bit too small to fit into the sleeping bags that we'd got, so we use these because they're holey, they're recommended, so that if they do kick them over their face, they're less likely to suffocate. And then sleeping bags, once she was big enough to fit into those, she still used sleeping bags now at nearly 8 months old, so sleeping bags are definitely one of my essentials. They're just they're just easy to put on, and they keep her snuggly while she's sleeping. Are you all right there? Yeah. On our list as well, we've got a travel cot. When they're first born, newborns will pretty much sleep anywhere, and we had a travel cot set up in the living room so that Babybel could sleep in there during the day. Now, no chance of getting her to sleep in a travel cot, but that is definitely something that I'd recommend. Ours was quite a big one, which took up a bit more room than we expected, but you can get smaller ones, and that's definitely an idea so that you can put them in there and just know that they're safe. We also had a bouncer, which is another thing that's probably the second thing on my list of essentials. When they're first born, obviously you don't want to just leave them on the sofa, but sometimes you do need to pop them down somewhere. If you haven't got the travel cot option, then you can just pop them into their bouncer and strap them in. Our one had a 3-point harness, so we knew that it was safe, and then it just meant that we could pop out into the kitchen or go up to the toilet or anything like that and just know that she was safe. Oh, have you given up? Have you given up? In this sleeping section, the things that we probably wouldn't recommend, I'm not saying don't buy them, these are just things that we didn't find were any use for us, were a Moses basket. So Moses baskets look really nice, but they are only small, and they tend to just be useful until the baby's about 12 weeks old. Obviously that does get you through the newborn stage, but then it's another expense to find something else for them to sleep in, so we didn't bother with a Moses basket at all. We just went with the carry cot and the travel cot, as I mentioned. Also on there we had a white noise machine, so we bought Ewan. He's cute, he's kind of useless, he's not loud enough. I read somewhere that the noises that the baby gets used to while they're in the womb are equivalent to standing next to an on shower, so Ewan with his quiet noises definitely wasn't enough. So rather than spending £40 on him, I would recommend using a white noise app on your phone or on YouTube. We've got an old tablet that we use that we just put white noise on, and that works for us perfectly well. And unfortunately, Ewan is now just a little toy. It's Ewan. That's Ewan. Next on the list of the things that we didn't consider necessary for the newborn stage is a baby monitor. Obviously, until they're 6 months old, it's recommended that they have all of their sleeps in the same room as you. So Baby Belle wasn't really ever left on her own at all. So we didn't see the point of buying a monitor until she hit 6 months. Some of them are quite expensive. So if you've got an extra 6 months to budget for that, then that's great, and that's not something that you need to buy straight away. So that's what we've done with ours, and now she can have naps on her own. In theory, she can have naps on her own, so that we can put the monitor on her and then just keep an eye on her that way. And the next thing on this section that we decided not to buy in the newborn stage is a cot bed. She's nearly 8 months old. She's still not in a cot bed. So that's something that we've been able to budget for over the last few months. She wasn't ever going to use it in the newborn stage because we weren't planning on leaving her on her own, and there isn't anywhere to sit in her nursery. So a cot bed is something that's on the list to buy, but wasn't a newborn essential at all. Then you move on to a pram. So obviously you're going to need a pram for if you're going out and about. We started off with a travel system which has a carry cot for the newborn stage, and then can change into a stroller facing you and then facing outwards as they get older. The carry cot can also be used as a safe sleeping space as well for the newborns when you've got them at home and everything. So that's good if you take them out for a walk and they fall asleep, then you can just get home and leave them in their carry cot, and that is a safe place for them. You're right there with that hanger. A car seat is another necessity. In this country, you have to have a safe car seat to be able to take the baby home from hospital, even if you don't drive. That is the rules here. And I'd recommend getting one with an Isofix base. Most cars these days do have the Isofix system in them, so that you can fix the base into the car, and then the infant carrier car seat just goes onto the base, clips in and out, rather than trying to wrap seat belts around, which obviously if it's raining is a nightmare. And in this section of the list as well, we've also got a changing bag. If you are going out and about, you have a lot of stuff that you need to take with you. So a changing bag is definitely a necessity to fit in all your nappies and your change of clothes and bottles if you're using them, and formula and everything like that. So yes, invest in a decent changing bag. And also for our out and about, we've got a sling or a baby carrier. We didn't get a sling just because they looked really complicated to try and figure out, and I didn't fancy being really tired and trying to figure out how to put a newborn into a sling. So we got a baby carrier, which is kind of like a backpack, and Baby Belle has been using that since she was a newborn, and she still goes in it occasionally now, although she is quite heavy. Now, obviously, newborns spend a lot of time sleeping, but they also spend a lot of time feeding as well. So this is our next section. We probably will spend a lot of time feeding them, whether they're breastfed or bottle fed. They do a lot of it. Oh, are you okay there? What do you want to play with now? So whether you choose to breastfeed or formula feed or pump, you're probably going to need boob pads to start with. As your milk starts to come in, there can be a lot of leakage. I use reusable ones, and I also use disposable ones as well. Even now at nearly 8 months, I still need to have boob pads on because I never know when they're going to go off basically. So boob pads is on the list. And along with that, nipple cream if you are feeding can get a little bit sore. Muslins. We use muslins all the time. Please don't tip that upside down, Isabel. We use muslins all the time. We use them instead of bibs and pop them around her neck to catch any sick or milk spillage that might happen. We use them to wipe her face. Sometimes we use them to catch bogies. And on our list of things that we didn't bother or not to bother with are bibs. We did buy some baby bibs, but I think we used them probably twice, and it was just so much easier to use these than messing about with bibs. So I would say I don't think they're useful in the newborn stage. A breast pump and milk storage bags are useful if you are going to breastfeed. If you're planning on only expressing occasionally, a handheld one works well. This one I think was about £10, and it's actually a really good pump for a handheld one, but I wouldn't recommend using that if you needed to pump more often. The recommendation is that you wait until 6 weeks to pump if you are breastfeeding. If you know our story, we were pumping from the beginning before we finally switched to feeding, so that was something that I used as an emergency purchase. And then the pump that I used regularly is the Bella Baby double electric one. Fantastic pump, couldn't recommend it more. And then along with that, milk storage bags. If you are expressing milk, you need somewhere to store them. There are some environmentally friendly options that aren't just one-use plastic, which you can get, but you do get milk storage bags with a lot of the pumps that you buy anyway. Bottles. If you are formula feeding, you will need bottles. If you are pumping, you will need bottles. And then obviously if you are planning on expressing as well as breastfeeding, then you're going to need bottles. These are the MAM self-sterilising ones, and these sterilise in the microwave, so they come apart completely. And because of that, on our list I've got that we didn't need a sterilizer. We bought a tub, a large tub that fits in 6 bottles for cold water sterilising and some Milton fluid, rather than spending £60 or £70 on an expensive microwave steriliser or one that stands up on the counter. We did just go with cold water sterilising, which I could sterilise the pump and everything in. If you're breastfeeding, I would say that nursing bras are definitely a must-have. These ones that I wear just clip here at the side and you can pull them down. But nursing clothes I wouldn't recommend. I found that things like this are ideal for use, and you can also use the one up one down method, but nursing clothes seem to be really expensive. Are you trying to bite my arm again? Are you trying to bite my arm? Nursing clothes seem to be really expensive, so I think I've bought one nursing top and that's it, and I don't even think I've worn it. So have a look at button down stuff and the one up one down method. There is a Facebook group called Can I Breastfeed in It, which is brilliant for ideas on that. And then on our list of things that we didn't really need for feeding, a feeding chair. A feeding chair is on the list, which I think the idea is that people put it into the nursery, but I can't see any time that I would have used a feeding chair in the nursery. Obviously Babybel sleeps in the bed next to me, so I wouldn't have got out of bed and taken her into the room to feed her and then come back in, put her back into bed and got into bed. I've always just fed her here. Same with downstairs, just feed her on the sofa. So a nursing chair, although it looks nice, I kind of thought that was irrelevant. Same with a feeding pillow as well. I just use a pillow from the spare room, or I also use my pregnancy pillow as well. I didn't see the point of buying an additional feeding pillow when we've got plenty around the house. And then the last thing in that section on the list of things that I wouldn't have bothered buying is a bottle warmer. Found it just as easy to put a bottle into a jug of hot water. And one thing with the MAM bottles is that because they are the anti-colic ones, they can suck the water up. So if you're going to be using them, just make sure that you take the lid off so that you don't create the suction. But a bottle warmer was just an added expense that we didn't bother going for. Nappies. You will be doing a lot of nappy changing. There is a lot of nappy changing in the beginning. I'm talking every hour and a half to 2 hours. So we bought nappies in size 1 and 2, and one of the tips that I have is not to stock up on one brand because you might find that you don't like them. We bought a packet of every single brand that we can find to try them all, and a lot of the nappies that seem to be really popular, like the Aldi ones and the Asda ones, we didn't really like. We found that we liked the Sainsbury's ones and the Pampers ones. So although it's a good idea to buy some nappies, don't stock up on just one brand. And what we did is we just bought a pack each week when we did the shopping, so that it wasn't just one big expensive nappies, and you will get through loads. We had 144 I think to start with and got through them really quickly. Oh, you're laying down again. Come and sit back up. For us, a changing station was essential. We've got a big one with drawers and shelves in it that we still use to put Baby Bell on it now, although it's a bit more of a challenge with her moving around. And then with that, changing mats are obviously essential. We bought a couple of cheap ones from Asda and they seem to be working out well. We used one for up here and then one for downstairs. And obviously with that, for downstairs we had a nappy caddy, which made it easier for when those nappy changes needed to be every 2 hours and we were downstairs. Just had a nappy caddy downstairs full of everything we needed, changing mat, and then we could just change her on the floor. Didn't need to keep coming upstairs to the changing unit. Nappy bags, definitely going to need some of those to tie those nappies away. But one thing we did find is that we didn't need to buy an expensive specific nappy bin. They are quite expensive, and the cartridges that you need to replace them are quite expensive. So we've just bought a standard bin that we can stick the nappies into the scented bags, chuck it in there, and then just empty the bin at the end of each day. In the newborn stages as well, the nappies don't smell too bad. It's only once they start eating normal food that it kind of gets gross. So a specific nappy bin is something that we wouldn't recommend. Are you okay there? Do you want you in? Cotton wool is on the list of essentials. When babies are first born, the recommendation is that you use cotton wool and cool down boiled water to clean them, and that's what we did. And with that we used a flask so that we didn't have to keep boiling the kettle and everything. We just used a flask to keep some warm water in, so that overnight we had warm water available. Are you okay? Are you okay? Wipes are on the list, and again I would recommend not stocking up on just one brand. I thought that I would want to use the... Oh my god. Wipes are on the list, and again I would recommend not stocking up on just one particular brand. I thought that I would want to use the water wipes, but I found that they were much too wet and cold on Baby Bell, so I think we use Huggies ones now, which are less wet and just seem to work well for us. So wipes, yes, but don't just stock up on one brand. Then we move on to bath time. We bought just a standard traditional bath that we put on top of the changing unit to bath Baby Bell, and that kept us going up until she was about 5 months old, until she started to be a bit too big and splashing water everywhere. So ours was just a standard cheap one from Asda. Oh, you can't do that. We need that. Hooded towels and washcloths, definitely. You would need them. We also have a baby care kit, which I haven't got here in front of me, but that has everything in it. It's got nail clippers, a nasal aspirator, hair brushes, thermometer, everything like that. Brilliant. And I'll make sure that that's linked below so you can see it. Oh, if you put the light on, you're playing with the light. On the list of things that we didn't bother with, we've got baby wash, baby lotion. We didn't use any baby wash for the first 6 weeks as per the recommendation, and we found that everybody bought us various different ones. So we've got loads of baby wash, baby bath time, baby lotion in the nursery that we haven't even got around to using yet. And also on that is bath toys as well. It's only in the last couple of months that she started to use bath toys. She wouldn't have had any interest in bath toys when she was a newborn, so that we didn't see the point of buying those. Yeah. I've got a little section here for medicines. So on that I've got Infacal, gripe water and Calpol. Calpol they're not allowed to use until they're 2 months old, but then they are necessary for their 8 weeks injection. So Calpol, definitely worth buying some of that. That is also brilliant for teething once they get to 8 weeks old. Gripe water, we never used it, or Infacal, but I'm glad that we had it there just in case we did. Obviously if we were having a bad night and we needed something like that, I would rather spend the £4 or £5 to have that than not have it and need to go out in the middle of the night to get it. Do you want to play with the gripe water? There we go. And we've also got some saline nasal spray as well, which again we haven't had to use yet, but I'm glad that we've got it there, and it can be used from newborn as well, so that's a recommendation. The last bit on the list is clothes. Obviously babies are going to need clothes. Now we decided that we decided that we probably weren't going to bother buying Babybel too many outfits. You have a lot of outfit changes. You have a lot of outfit changes when they're babies, as they do sick on themselves or there are poo explosions. So we decided that we were just going to go with baby grows for the majority of the time. They're a lot easier to put on, and as well, the ones that we used have got the built-in mitts and built-in feet, so that meant that we didn't need to have separate mittens. Oh dear. Oh, we didn't need to have separate mittens and separate socks. They don't stay on. So they're on my list of things that we probably shouldn't have bothered with for the newborn stage. Obviously, if they are going to be wearing an outfit, you will need it, but I think we had about 15 pairs of socks and we didn't really ever use them. So baby grows definitely. On the list we had 10 up to 1 month size and 10 0 to 3 month vests. Babybel was £7.5 and she used the up to 1 month for a while and then moved into her 0 to 3. Yeah. Vests are another essential. We found that short sleeve vests were better for us because long sleeve vests were quite difficult to get into her clothes. So although she was an autumn winter baby, we stuck with short sleeve vests and just layered her up rather than the long sleeved ones. Oh, you're looking out the window. Jackets, yeah, definitely, even in the summer. We're in the UK, so probably going to need jackets, and hats too. And when they're first born, they do need hats on. I'm assuming that's the same even in the summer because obviously they're fresh and could get quite cold. And on the list there as well, we've got snowsuit and pram suit. Obviously, if your baby's born in the summer, you're probably not going to need a snowsuit, but as we are in the UK, you may need a pram suit. And we still put her in a pram suit now, even at 8 months when the weather's chilly, when we take her out in the pram or the pushchair as she's in now. So that's everything on our list. That is everything that we used in the newborn stage. Newborn stage, I'm talking up to sort of like 8 or 10 weeks old. Oh, should we stand you back up? Yeah. As usual, we really hope that you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. It makes us really happy and it lets YouTube know that the video is worth showing to other people. We'll see you next time. Say bye. Say bye. Babybel, say bye. Say bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye.